Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are opening up a topic that I honestly think is going to make a lot of people squirm in their seats a little bit, myself included, actually. We're talking about that very specific kind of exhaustion where you feel like you are the absolute only thing holding your entire universe together.
The Atlas complex.
Exactly. The weight of the world resting squarely on your shoulders. You know the vibe. You're the CEO, but you're also the janitor, the head of marketing, the IT guy fixing the printer.
And the person replying to customer emails at 11 p.m. on a Friday.
Yes. We have this, romantic idea of the hustler, right? The founder who sleeps under their desk.
It's so pervasive in our culture. We treat sleep deprivation and extreme multitasking like they're badges of honor.
Yeah, if you aren't suffering, are you even building a business?
Exactly. But the research we're looking at today just flips that narrative completely on its head. It suggests that this hero mode isn't just unhealthy for you personally, which, we sort of already know,
right?
But that it's actually toxic for your business model.
That is the hook that really got me. We aren't just talking about self-care and bubble baths here. We're talking about profit margins and survival.
Yep.
We're doing a deep dive today into a concept called the bottleneck problem. This is based on a really sharp breakdown from the team at Local Junction, published back in September of 2025.
The article is called The Bottleneck Problem. Signs, you're doing too much in your business.
And the mission for today is a bit of a diagnostic one. We want to help you figure out if your habits, your need for control, your sheer effort have become the single biggest obstacle to your company's growth.
It's a paradox, isn't it?
It is. The harder you work, the slower the business grows. That just feels unfair.
It's entirely counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But think of it this way. A business is essentially a system of flows.
Okay.
You've got cash flow, workflow, information flow. If you insert yourself into every single step of that flow, you aren't the engine anymore.
You become what?
You become the clog.
Ooh, the clog. Nobody puts chief clog officer on their business card. But let's be real, letting go is terrifying.
It is. Before we get to the solutions, and we will get there,
right,
we need to diagnose the sickness. The source material outlines 5 very specific red flags that indicate you've officially entered bottleneck territory.
Right. And I want to be clear, these aren't just pet peeves or minor annoyances.
No.
These are structural failures that signal your business is in real trouble.
Okay, let's start with red flag number 1.
Yeah?
Slow response times. And to be clear, I don't just mean you're bad at texting your friends back.
No, this is about the toll booth effect. I want you to imagine your business is a busy highway.
Okay.
Cars are zooming along, but then you build a toll booth, and every single car, meaning every decision, every invoice, every client question, every approval, every little thing has to stop at that one single booth, and you are the only person working in that booth. What happens to the highway?
Total traffic jam, gridlock, road rage.
Exactly. The source describes this as a state where your team and your clients are just in a constant holding pattern. They're waiting for your blessing to move forward. I have seen this happen so many times. You have a team member who is perfectly capable of sending an email, but they draft it and send it to you for review first.
Because they're afraid to mess up.
Right. And you don't look at it for 6 hours because you're busy putting out a fire somewhere else. So that email goes out a day late.
Precisely. And the cost there isn't just time, it's momentum. The article points out that in our current digital economy, speed is a currency.
Totally.
If a potential client reaches out and they don't hear back for 3 days because the owner needs to personally vet every inquiry, that client is gone.
Oh, they're long gone.
They are not waiting. They're at a competitor who has an automated response system.
So by trying to ensure quality control yourself, you're actually destroying the customer experience. You're trying to be helpful, but you're actually just in the way.
That is the irony. You're the bottleneck to your own revenue.
Which leads us directly into red flag number 2, and this is the one we hear about most often, right? Burnout and exhaustion. But I noticed the source material takes a slightly different angle on this. It's not just eat your vegetables and get 8 hours of sleep.
No, and that's why I like this analysis so much. It frames burnout as a strategic liability. That is a key distinction.
A strategic liability.
Yeah. When you're burnt out, your cognitive function degrades. You become reactive instead of proactive. You stop playing chess and start playing whack-a-mole.
It's that feeling of putting out fires all day, right? You're never building the fire station. You're just holding the hose and running around.
Right. And the source argues that consistency is the first casualty of burnout.
How so?
You might have a burst of energy on Monday and Tuesday, But by Thursday, you're a ghost. You stop posting on social media, you delay meetings, you snap at vendors.
Your business becomes fragile.
It becomes incredibly fragile because its stability depends entirely on your biological energy levels.
That is a scary thought. If the business crashes because you got the flu or just hit an emotional wall, you don't really own a business. You own a high-stress job that hates you.
Harsh, but true. And this lack of bandwidth creates red flag number 3, stalled growth. This is the visual of the piling desk.
Oh, I felt this one personally. The source talks about new opportunities just like dying on the vine because you simply physically cannot process them.
It's simple math, really. There are 168 hours in a week. Even if you work 100 of them, which is insane and unsustainable,
Insane.
there is a hard cap. If your business model requires 1 hour of your personal time to generate 1 unit of a revenue, you have a ceiling. You cannot scale.
So if you're turning down work, or if you're not even looking for new work because you're terrified of what happens if you actually get it,
Then you are the bottleneck. You are actively suppressing your own company's potential because your infrastructure, which is just, you can't handle the load.
it's tragic in a way. You succeed just enough to fail. Now, red flag number 4 is where we get into the psychology of why we do this. Micromanaging tasks.
The classic, I'll just do it myself trap.
Why is this so sticky? I catch myself doing this all the time. I'll think, it will take me 10 minutes to explain this task to the junior guy, but I can do it in 2 minutes. So I just do it.
And it feels efficient in the moment.
It does.
But that is a classic short-term gain, long-term loss calculation. The source highlights a really damaging side effect of this that I think people miss.
Yeah.
It calls it learned helplessness.
Learned helplessness. Okay, let's break that down.
When you swoop in and fix the small things, formatting the spreadsheet, rewriting the social post, tweaking the invoice,
Yeah.
you're teaching your team that they don't need to be excellent. They just need to be good enough until you come and fix it.
Wow. So you're actually training them to be dependent on you.
Exactly. You are eroding their confidence and their initiative. The source says micromanaging discourages team members from taking ownership,
So you end up surrounded by people who just wait for orders.
which forces you to micromanage more.
Yeah.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You create the very incompetence that you complain about.
And that vicious cycle leads right to red flag number 5, missed deadlines and constant catch-up.
The endless chase. If you look at your calendar and every single day is a frantic scramble to finish things that were due yesterday, that's not a sign that you're busy.
What is it a sign of?
It's a sign that your system is broken. It's a definitive signal that the math just doesn't work. The input exceeds the processing power.
You are structurally insolvent on time.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've done the diagnosis. And if you're listening to this and your heart rate just went up a little bit because we basically described your daily life, take a breath.
Right.
Because the source material pivots here. We move from the problem to the solution, and it starts with a mindset shift.
We have to move from control to delegation.
I feel like delegation is a buzzword that people throw around, but they don't actually know how to do it.
Yeah.
There's this fear, right? If I delegate, I lose control. The quality will drop.
Nobody cares as much as I do.
That one,
Yeah.
that's the one.
That's the myth. The source argues that delegation is actually the only way to maintain high-level control.
How so?
Think of a conductor in an orchestra. The conductor doesn't play the violin, the drums, and the oboe. If they tried to run around playing every instrument, it would just be noise.
Chaos. Yeah.
They control the music by letting others play the instruments.
That is a fantastic analogy. So you need to stop being the violin player and start being the conductor.
Exactly. The source suggests effective delegation frees up headspace. And I love that term.
Me too.
You need quiet in your brain to think about strategy. You cannot think about the next 5 years of your business if you are worrying about a $50 invoice or why the Wi-Fi is down.
So let's get tactical. The Local Junction article breaks this down into actionable categories. What exactly should we be getting off our plates?
It buckets these into 2 main categories, outsourcing and automation.
Let's talk automation first, because that feels easier for the control freaks among us.
Right. Robots don't usually make mistakes.
It's usually. So what does the source list?
Things like email responses, invoicing, and scheduling. These are repetitive, rules-based tasks. If you are manually typing out Tuesday at 2 p.m. works for me 5 times a day, you're wasting your life.
Scheduling tools, automated invoicing. These are things that cost, what, a few dollars a month, but can save hours.
And they eliminate that toll booth we talked about. A client can book time with you while you're asleep, An invoice can be sent while you're on vacation. The flow continues without you.
Okay, then there's outsourcing. This is harder because it involves other people. The source suggests administrative work, marketing, customer support.
And this is where you have to look at the value of your time. If your strategic value to the company, the value you create when you're doing your best work is, let's say, $500 an hour.
Okay.
And you're spending 2 hours answering basic customer support tickets, you're effectively costing your company $1,000 to do $40 worth of work.
That puts it in perspective. You're the most expensive secretary in the world.
You are. So hiring a virtual assistant or an agency isn't an expense. It is an arbitrage of time. You're buying back your high-value hours.
But where do we even start? The source provides a framework for this, right? 3 questions to ask yourself.
Yes. And I'd recommend actually writing these down. Question 1, what tasks can I automate?
Always look for the software solution first.
It's the cheapest and most reliable employee you will ever have.
Question 2.
What can I outsource? If a human needs to do it, does it have to be you? Can a freelancer do it 80% as well as you? If the answer is yes, let it go.
And the big one, question 3.
What activities truly require me and my expertise?
And you have to be honest.
Brutally honest. It is usually a very, very short list. Vision, culture, high-level partnerships, maybe key product strategy.
And everything else is negotiable.
Everything else is negotiable.
This brings us to the ultimate goal mentioned in the text, moving from working in your business to working on your business. That's the classic E-Myth concept, isn't it?
It is, and it remains true. Working in the business is the technician's work. Baking the pies, writing the code.
Right.
Working on the business is designing the kitchen, hiring the bakers, and finding new customers. You cannot build a franchise if you're stuck in the kitchen.
Now, speaking of finding customers, the source material actually pivots to a very specific, concrete example of delegation that I thought was pretty interesting. It's about visibility.
Yes, this is often a huge bottleneck. Founders try to be their own marketing department.
Which is a complete nightmare. I mean, SEO, social media, local listings, it's a black hole of time.
It is. And the article introduces Local Junction here, not just as the publisher, but as a tool for Canadian entrepreneurs.
It describes a free business listing. Now, to the uninitiated listener, that might just sound like putting your name in a phone book, but there is a technical side to this that makes it valuable, isn't there?
And there is, yeah. In the world of SEO, search engine optimization, there's a concept called a citation.
Okay, let's unpack that. What exactly is a citation in this context?
A citation is any place online where your business name, address, and phone number are listed. That's often called the NAP data.
NAP, okay.
Search engines like Google crawl the web looking for these citations to verify that you're a real, legitimate business. The more consistent, high-quality citations you have, the higher you rank in local search results.
So when the source says, let Local Junction handle the heavy lifting of visibility, they're basically saying, delegate your digital real estate management.
Exactly. Instead of you trying to build authority from scratch on your own lonely website, you create a profile on an established directory. You're borrowing their authority.
Ah, I see.
You fill it out once, make sure your NA data is correct, and it works for you 24/7.
It's a set it and forget it play.
Which is the definition of a good delegation. You do the work once, and the asset continues to perform without your constant input.
So you're outsourcing the need to be an expert in directory algorithms and local citations and all that stuff.
You got it. And for a business owner who is, just drowning, getting a win like that, something that takes 20 minutes and works forever, is a huge psychological boost.
It breaks the paralysis.
It proves to your brain that you don't have to do everything yourself to get results.
It's like training wheels for delegation. You start with a directory listing, then maybe you move to an automated invoice system, then maybe a virtual assistant.
It builds the muscle.
Yeah.
You stop thinking, how can I do this? And you start thinking, who or what can do this for me?
So let's wrap this up and look at the big picture. We started with the overwhelmed entrepreneur, the hero, who is actually the villain of their own growth story.
We identified the signs, the slow responses, the burnout that threatens the business's stability, the stalled growth, the micromanaging.
And the missed deadlines.
All of it. And we realized that the only way out is to shift from hoarding tasks to managing flows.
It's about building a machine.
Right. And if you are the most important part of the machine breaks when you break. The goal is to build a business that is bigger than you.
A business that breathes on its own.
Exactly.
That's the image I want to leave people with.
Yeah.
A business that breathes. It doesn't gasp for air every time you take a vacation or need a sick day.
And it allows you to get back to the part of the business you actually love.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't start a company because they love answering emails or debugging printer networks.
No.
They started because they have a vision. Delegation buys you the time to get back to that vision.
So here is our challenge to you for today. We want you to look at your to-do list for tomorrow.
Don't change it yet. Just look at it.
Find the one item on there that's only on that list because you are afraid to let someone else do it. Not because they can't do it, but because you are afraid to let go.
Identify it. Ask yourself, is this task worth my hourly rate? Does this task require my unique genius?
And then find a way to get rid of it. Maybe it's signing up for that local Jumption listing to handle your visibility. Maybe it's setting up an autoresponder.
Maybe it's finally hiring that freelancer you've been thinking about.
Whatever it is, take that one brick out of the wall you've built around yourself.
Your business and your future sanity will thank you.
That's it for this deep dive. Stop being the bottleneck, start being the conductor. We'll see you next time.